I know I've seen at least 4 victims go into ambulances. Does that coincide with what you're seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say at least 4, possibly as many as 6. It's really hard to tell as we take another live look from Air 4, just to give you a sense of the scale right now of this response. This is the area near 4th and Pine. This is actually a block, it appears, from where folks are being loaded onto those stretchers, although you can see right here, medics there moving what looks like yet another victim. We have seen dozens of patrol cars in this area, obviously several ambulances. We don't know the extent of the injuries at this point. As Kara mentioned, Seattle police really putting out limited information right now, only saying multiple victims, only saying the suspect has fled and they are now searching for him. We don't know if there might be multiple suspects, possibly multiple shooters. But again, these live pictures are just unbelievable, really in the heart of this shopping district of downtown Seattle.
Gabe, you've also been gathering some new information.
Yeah, and we've been monitoring social media, and we're getting in some new videos that have been posted. And I want to see if we can click over to Tagboard really quick, because these videos really are telling. And you can see one here captured on the street that appears to show the aftermath of the shooting right outside the McDonald's. You can see there people waving their arms in the air, and you can see several people sprawled out there on the sidewalk. This is the video now restarting, so they're going to push in again here in a moment. But this is from about a block away, looks like along 3rd Avenue. You can see the Macy's there in the distance and the McDonald's. Again, it appears to be right after the shooting. Look on the right side of that video by that tree. You can see a man sprawled out on the ground. We don't know if they were injured, may have been hit, but you can see several people on the ground. So perhaps this is capturing the injured people right after that shooting unfolded. And as I mentioned, you can see people standing around them. They appear to be waving others over to them, perhaps to help.
Let's go back to Gabe now. And Gabe, you are very familiar with this, covering this particular neighborhood as a reporter in the last several years.
Yeah, especially over the past year or so. Last summer, we saw a series of emphasis patrols across Seattle. That was an initiative of Mayor Jenny Durkin. And this was one of the areas that was going to be a focus, this 3rd Avenue corridor right around Pike and Pine. And let's take this live picture full again. A lot of people had been calling for these emphasis patrols, who had been talking about crime in this area. We heard it again right around the holidays. People calling for more officers on the street because they were concerned about random violent crimes like this. And you heard Mayor Durkin talk about the progress that was made through those emphasis patrols, which lasted for a while over the summer. I can't remember the exact amount of time, but we also heard from business owners, from people who lived around Seattle who saw a difference, who said they felt safer in their businesses, safer on the street because of the presence of more officers. And that's been an initiative of the mayor heading into this year, that they were getting more equal funding, more funding to be able to continue those emphasis patrols again this coming summer at that same level. But we've also heard from plenty of people who say that's just not enough. They want to see more officers on the street. The mayor has always said she'll defer to Chief Best when it comes to where they need to put officers, where they feel are the best places. And the chief has said, you know, it's a tough balancing act where you want people to feel safe. You need to address that as a top issue, but you also need to follow the statistics, and their department relies heavily on statistics. They take pride in that. Seattle police talk about that all the time. It's going to be interesting to see, given we are already hearing a major response from people saying, I haven't felt safe in this neighborhood for a long time. Now this happens. As we've heard, people aren't surprised. They're angry. And so the question is, will the chief, will the mayor, will they address that tonight and say, we're going to put that as the top priority and let statistics take the back seat? Or if they're going to continue to stand by what they have and say, you know what, the statistics don't show, we need to put more officers in these particular places. For years now, we have been covering violent incidents, not only in this part of downtown, but at this very intersection where this shooting happened. Many people have feared we would eventually face a tragedy. Tonight we do. Some are stunned, others angry after 3 shootings in 25 hours. First, a 55-year-old shot and killed in broad daylight Tuesday near Westlake Center. Police haven't found the gunman.
I guess this is what happens in this day and age in the world.
Then today, officers opened fire at a man in Belltown after he rams a patrol car. That perp suffered minor injuries. And just 2 hours later, the mass shooting. 1 dead, 7 wounded, and many more horrified.
People can't walk in the neighborhood. You know, this sickens me for me to die on the floor in my own home.
Tonight, Chief Carmen Best didn't connect the shootings.
Well, what I can tell you is that we have had a number of officers deployed in this area, as you know, for some time on emphasis patrols.
This stretch of 3rd Avenue near Pike and Pine is just one section of Seattle now notorious for drugs and crime. This is one of the areas where police launched emphasis patrols last summer. Many people tell me they want SPD to bring back those patrols year-round. In a statement tonight, the Downtown Seattle Association saying, quote, "We call on public officials to devote the resources necessary to improve safety in downtown and take back 3rd Avenue from the criminals who have laid claim to it." Fear and frustration are growing, and with a gunman on the loose, the chief addressing downtown safety.
We've locked down the scene. There's no active shooting going on at this point. We have, as you can see, dozens of officers in this area. So everything is safe for the night.